everyone, it's Sami from Sami's Sweet Life, and I got a new medal that I'm going to talk about here in a little while. I'm just going to be wearing it in this video. I have another medal coming hopefully next week that I'll be talking about in this video too, but I'll have to show it to you guys next week because it's not here yet. But before we get into that, I've got a list of notes. I'll be popping things up on the screen as I talk. We're doing a Peloton and fitness chat today, so a couple things aren't really Peloton specific, but they're Peloton adjacent, so they're going to be in this video as well. So anyway, first topic of discussion is the one I am most angry about. The Peloton rower did get announced. It is under pre-order. It is $31.95. That is $3,195. And I want it so bad. It's so beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love it. I love that it like stacks up. It looks like it's super quiet. It's beautiful. It's sleek. It's, you know, shiny and new, and I want it so bad, but I am not paying $31.95, guys. I got the money in the bank. I could pay it. I choose not to pay it. And I'm so mad because I really wanted that dang rower. So my plan is to eventually get it. The thing I'm most irritated with is how they worded something, and I'll maybe try to pull it up in this video and show you guys. One of the main questions that came up when they announced the pre-order, I'll talk like all the details about that part in a second, but one of the things that people asked is like, okay, I already have a rower, I'll just use the app. And they're like, no, it said, at launch, the rowing content will only be available for the people on the Peloton row. So basically at launch, that's the key here. At launch, you cannot get it on the digital app. You can't get it if you have a bike. You can't get it like on your bike screen. You can only get it if you purchased their rower. So at first I'm like, oh heck no, I'm out. I'm gonna go get the Apple Fitness, do their rowing and buy a Concept 2 and just be out $1,000 and whatever the fee is for that. It's like $80 a year for the Apple Fitness Plus. And just do that instead, because I'm like, oh heck no, I'm not buying their rower just because they're, I don't know, it feels like extortion. Like, I'm not gonna buy your rower just because you're holding the content hostage. But yeah, that was my first thing. I was like, oh, I'm never buying this rower. I'm so mad about it. But then I looked at the wording of it and it says at launch, and they said, stay tuned for more details or something. So I think it's gonna be like the Peloton guide where it's not that big a deal. There's a little bit of exclusive content only on the guide, and you have to have the guide if you want that exclusive content, but most of it gets kicked out to everyone else after 6 weeks. I'm like, I can wait 6 weeks. I'm not caring that much. So I probably will buy the rower at some point potentially, or I'll buy a Concept 2 and use the rowing content. I just don't know. Right now I'm in the wait and see mode because of a few things about this that I'm just not loving, and there's a few. So you guys know how much I love my bike. It's life-changing. I love the instructors. I have a couple Peloton boyfriends, like instructors that I just love and jive with, and really just, they push me hard and I love them so much. And I've got a couple Peloton girlfriends, same thing. Push me hard, inspire me to be better and get better, and yeah, love it. Life-changing for me. Would not give it up. You can pry my bike from my cold dead fingers. Like, I love it that much. But I do have some criticisms of Peloton as a company. You know, it can be both. You can love everything that they've done around one thing and then judge the heck out of them for their poor decision-making skills in your mind. They've been making some poor decisions lately, and there have been a ton of people turned over in the top tier of the company. I don't know what's going on internally. I don't know if they're super struggling, like they're gonna go out of business struggling, or if they're just trying to do something different and stay afloat, and they're really trying and they're changing things up and they're really trying to like throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. But that's just not a key time for me to want to invest in one of their very expensive items. You know, you hear about people resigning left and right from these top level, you know, all the executive positions. They're all freaking running away from Peloton, and that makes me worry about the longevity of their company. That puts pause in my decision making. Like, I'm just gonna wait it out and wait and see what is going on, because they seem like they need more income, need more money rolling in, and then they price this thing so astronomically expensive. It feels like a greedy money grab to me. Like, this is our like last hope of staying afloat type of feeling, and I don't get good feelings from that. So that's one of my reasons. Like, I want to wait and see what happens to Peloton as a company. Like, if they go under, my bike's going to be any other bike, you know? And I don't want to have two machines like that. I just don't. So I don't want to pay the top of the line price for a machine if something bad's gonna happen. So I'm just gonna kind of wait and see it out for that part of it. I have a little bit of uneasy feelings. I don't know that they're having that series of problems, but their stock prices are really, really dropping. People are resigning left and right, and it just gives me that little pause of like, I'm gonna just hold off for a minute. So that was one reason. At that price point, I just cannot justify it when I'm kind of worried about them as a whole. And then number two with it, it is a pre-order, and I do not like doing pre-orders. This is my own hesitation based on just supply chain issues. Like there's pre-orders for various things, you have to wait for various things, and then they sometimes drag out for months and months longer than the initial, like, we're gonna get it to you this day, and 6 months later, you still don't have the thing. I don't wanna be in that situation where they have my money or I'm just waiting on them to provide me with the product. I wanna make sure that they have it in stock and I can get my product in a reasonable amount of time. So right now it's near the end of September and they're saying late December for the pre-order. So that's waiting all of October, all of November, most of December. And that's a long pre-order period. So a lot of crap can happen between now and then. And I don't want to be beholden to them and have to wait on them and then have my money. And people did say they won't take your money until like 30 days from the time you're going to ship. But all sorts of things go wrong. Like you guys know how bad the supply chain is. Anything can go wrong. If they're made overseas, they can be stuck on a shipping container for goodness knows how long, you know? I just don't want to be in that situation where I'm just waiting and then waiting more and then waiting more. And it just, I don't want to do that. So that's another big reason why I didn't go ahead and do it. And I was talking to Johnny about this, my husband, and I'm like, you know, I'm super miffed. The day it came out, I was like pouting pretty much all day. I was like, I really wanted to buy it. I really wanted to be one of the first people with one of these so I can review it for everybody. I can try it out. And more importantly than that, have a rower. Like I rode in high school and I've always liked a rower. And I don't know why it took me so long to really like think about getting one, possibly because I never worked out until the last 2 years. But when we started working out and knowing we were going to have a home gym, I'm like, I'm gonna get that rower. I'm like, I always dreamed of having a rower since high school and being like one of those super fit rowing people. And yeah. It's never happened, and I was waiting for them to have this rower, so I'm like, finally, it's in there. Like, I'm gonna be the first one to get it, and what's holding me back is the overpriced price. It just does not have that much value for me. And Johnny's like, you know, they're like the Apple of fitness equipment. You know, you're paying for the brand name, you're paying to use their content, and he was like trying to talk me into it almost. And you guys, if you've watched any of my videos, he's the very budget conscious person. You know, he doesn't like that we have Apple stuff because he finds it overpriced, but we're paying for the name and we're paying for that ecosystem, and he's just not super happy about it. But he does like the bike, and he said, you know, you're paying the value for the coaching, for their name, and you know, people will put a value assessment on it and see if it's worth it to them. And I'm like, you're probably right. You're probably right that it might be worth it. But for me, I cannot justify it. I just cannot. As much as I wanted to hit that pre-order button, probably honest to goodness, if it had shipped like next week or like really soon, like if they're like, oh, we have them in stock right now, buy it right now, I may have pulled the trigger and just did it, like not even thought about it. Like, oh, I'm gonna buy it because I'm like shiny new exciting thing that's beautiful and it's this thing I've dreamed about since high school. And yeah, I probably would have done it had it not been for the pre-order, even though like it was too much money. It's too much money. And even now, like thinking about wanting it, I'm like, it is so dang expensive. Like Concept 2, $990. Use it with Apple Fitness Plus rowing, and I did like Apple Fitness Plus. When I reviewed it, I told you guys I really like it. I bought the year subscription and then found Peloton and liked it a whole lot more, but I could be out $1,000 versus out $3,100. And that's pricey, that's steep, and that's not an amount that I take lightly, you know, it's a big amount. And I really just, honest to goodness, wanted it to be under $3,000. And then I sit there and I think about like, oh, it's only $200 over that plus tax, which is gonna add a couple $100 onto it. But I'm like, oh, it's only $200 over like what I was trying to cap it at. So I'm like trying to justify it in my head and try to make it work. But ultimately there's too many logical thoughts, you know, more logical than, ooh, I just want it, you know, shiny new, I want this shiny new thing. So I'm holding back, I'm waiting and seeing. One thing is it's a brand new item, you know, they may come out with a version 2 that's even better, you know, in a year after they've test run it and people have given their feedback on it, they may come out with a version 2 or maybe a cheaper version of it later on. You never know what's going on. So I want to kind of wait and see what the reviews say. There are people I know, there are rowing people on YouTube that do rowing content. They will review this thing. I'm sure of it. So I want to see like actual people that don't have a stake in it telling me how awesome it is. And if it's super awesome, then I will wait for a sale. That's my other key thing. So I'm just waiting and seeing how the reviews turn out. If it's a big giant flop, like how they backtrack about pricing. If it's a big giant flop, how the company is doing overall. I want to see like when they actually start shipping, because if they actually start shipping on the date that they say, I will be pretty impressed, because I've seen other pre-orders lately and they've just been just huge fiascos. And yeah, I've had friends like buy couches and have to wait like a year for their couch. A couch! So I anticipate there may be delays or problems along the way, and I don't want to be a part of that part of it. I just want to be on the outside looking in and watching everything go down. So waiting for reviews, waiting for a price drop or a big sale, waiting for it to actually be shipping, like actually be shipping, knowing people have them in their hands. When I ordered my Bike Plus, it was, I want to say like 6 or 8 weeks out, but I knew people already had Bike Pluses. Like I knew they actually existed. People had them in their hands that they had purchased. And that's an important aspect of it with all the supply chain things going on. So yeah, long rambly thing to say. I'm not purchasing it at launch. I have not pre-ordered it. I almost did. I thought about it quite a bit. I went back and forth like an entire day. I went like angel on one side, devil on one side, like just do it, just buy it. It doesn't matter the price. And the angel's like, but you could get a cheaper one. But there's a pre-order. But people are resigning left and right. There's lots of weird things. I waited, and I'm gonna wait and see if they have some sales. I'm hoping like by this time next year I will have one. Like if it's really good, if people are reviewing it and saying it's really awesome. And it's a Peloton thing, so it probably is really awesome, but I'm just holding back and being sad and pouting that I don't have one. But nobody else is gonna have one till late December anyway. But still, I'm gonna pout about it, and in videos I'll still probably talk about it and be a little salty because I do not have one and I'm not pre-ordering one, and I'll just sit back and pout. Anyway, let's move on from there. I've got more happy topics. That's my like Debbie Downer topic and that I'm most upset about. Everything else is pretty happy stuff, and I already did my exercise today, so I'm feeling really good. So I got something in the mail and I'm super excited about this. This is the Estrada Real medal, but this medal is for 1,049 miles. So they had a contest that I actually won. I was one of the winners. So they had a contest where this new thing came out, and I was looking at it really good because toucan, like super cute. And it's like, ooh, I like that one. I can do that for 2023 as part of my 2023 goals because it is a significant amount. It's over 1,000 miles. And I'm like, ooh, I like this one. I want to buy this one. And then they said of the people who go for this new challenge that's out, we will pick so many winners. It's like 8 winners or 12 winners, and you guys will win a gold-plated, diamond-encrusted medal. And I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. I wanted to buy the medal anyway, so I bought the medal, and I won. So I won one of the gold ones. It did ship from New Zealand, and it took a really long time to get here because I'm in America, and yeah, it took a really long time. I'm going to show you guys the unboxing really quick so you can see it up close. I am a hot, sweaty mess because I just did my 45-minute Power Zone ride. I will be doing my PELOCHAT video later today, but I wanted to show you guys this. I was going to go ahead and take it out and have it ready in the video, but it was just such a huge box. I do know it came from New Zealand. I wanted to show you guys. It was like tucked deep in here in this, which is super cool. I'm totally going to use this for some boo. What is it? Like you've been booed. I make little pails and boo some of the neighbors, but look at that. Like that's perfect for booing somebody, but it's so nice. It came in this box that's wrapped in the ribbon. Yeah, that was the big giant New Zealand tag on there for shipping. But look how beautiful it is. I wanted to open it for you guys, but look at that ribbon. How cute is that? And it came with a handwritten note here. Pull it open. It was just so nice. I just expected it to be like, you know, in a small bubble mailer. Yeah, congratulations written on there. And there it is. It's, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. It comes in like an actual real box. Like, look at that. I might have to like set this up on a shelf or something. It's so pretty in the box. Yeah, it's like, it's supposed to be real gold. And a real jewel right there. I don't know if it's a real diamond. It might be. Like, you know, this is some fancy stuff. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I kind of want to wear it around. Oh, how pretty with the map on it. So I ended up ordering this challenge, have not completed it yet. It's 1,000 miles and I have one more I want to do before that. Actually, two more. I'm working on one right now. I'll talk about it in the video. I've got a plan for 2020. Oh my gosh, what year? 2023, the next year. What mileage I want to hit. I'm going to work on it. Oh, how pretty is it? I'm hoping to get this one knocked out next year. Oh, so beautiful. All right, I gotta go show my husband. I told him, I'm like, I gotta open this on camera. And then I'll show him. Yeah, it was like tucked in so you can just have it in the box. So pretty. Look at that. I'm shocked how pretty it is. But yeah, I'm super excited. In the email, they're like, you won. And then when you complete the challenge, we'll send you like the regular old one, not the gold diamond plated one. But it's so pretty. Like, it was pretty even without like the real stuff all over it. It's just pretty with the little toucans, and yeah, I love it. So this is part of my 2024, wow. This is part of my 2023 goals, is to complete this one next year. And I have a few that I'm trying to finish off for this year, but I really got into it. I did an initial review on these Conqueror virtual challenges, and I was so about it in my review, and then got the medal and really liked the medal. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna really stick with it or not. I really just love the idea of collecting the medals. But since then, I have really gotten to liking them. I ended up getting referral credits. Anybody who purchases through my links, every so many, I get a free one, which is really great. I've been continuing to use those and really appreciating when people use those links. It gives you guys a little discount, and it also gives me free challenges over time. So I've been using those and really liking it. And I started using it all the time. I just really like it. I just completed another one I'll get a medal for here soon, and I'll talk about it when I get it. Now I'm working on the India one. It's the Indian Triangle, and it's like 400, almost 500 miles. So that's the one I'm working on right now, but I definitely want to do this one. This is one of the higher amount ones that I have gotten, and I'm really excited. So I was really thankful that I got this one. It's beautiful, and I will treasure it because it's just so pretty. But yeah, I won. I couldn't believe I never win anything. I'm that person who like enters the contests and never wins anything. So I'm like, I was shocked when I got the email. I was like, really, me? Like, you're talking to me? I won this? And it's beautiful. It took a while to get here, but yeah, very beautiful, very fancy looking, and it will go up on my wall of all my medals. I really like the challenges. So every time what I do, this is my like procedure after I am done. I do my 5-minute stretch after I ride my bike. I check my mileages and add it up. I write it down, like all my mileages get written down. If it's a power zone challenge, I sync with the power zone and check it off there. And otherwise I just submit it in the app for this. Like I always put my mileage in the app now, and I've been keeping track that way. And I really hope for 2023 to start at the beginning, and it will give me my yearly total. So I'll watch the miles add up the whole entire year. I did not use it all of 2022. I found it like midway through the year, did one challenge, did the review, didn't really do much with it for a while. And now I'm like really into it, like really into earning the miles and finishing these medals. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. I love writing the mileage down. I would love to see my whole yearly total in one place. I did end up adding up my miles. You can look on the bike screen and find your mileage for every month. And I went down all the tally and added up all my miles for the entire year that way. But that's just a little bit different than like having it in your view and just seeing the whole yearly total in one spot. I did mention Power Zone. I am in week 4 of Power Zone training. I did my first 45 earlier in the week, and then I was gonna do the second 45 Wednesday, but they had a live Moulin Rouge. It was a 2-for-1, so it was actually Bradley Rose and Sami, and I really like both of them, and they were together, and it was so good. Like, the music was good, they were hilarious, it was just such a fun ride. And the other like super fun ride recently was the Lizzo ride. I thought that was like one of the best rides ever. Well, this one topped that because it was Bradley Rose and Sami, and it was so good. They were goofing off, they danced, they joked. It was really fun. And they also pushed really hard on some of the things. And I realized like a few minutes left in the class that I was really close to my PR. I was like within 15 points of it. And I had like basically almost 3 minutes to go, and I pushed. I was like zone 7 at the end of it. I was completely dying, but I got 1 point above my PR, and I was like, I don't think I could do this for any longer. Like, my lungs were burning, my legs were on fire. I was like giving it a complete 100% all out effort for those 2.5 minutes, and I barely squeaked by and got my PR. So I have not PR'd on a 30-minute ride in ages. I was at 2:33 and now I'm at 2:34. So I was super proud of that. So the last couple minutes I was dying, and then I was like leaning over the bike. I thought I was gonna have to like lay on the ground and just breathe because it was like such hard work. It was like the hardest push I've done. I don't even know how long. Like, I don't even know if I pushed that hard on the FTP test. Like, because you can't do that effort for whole 20 minutes. It was like just the last couple minutes I was giving it everything I had. And already in the ride, you know, I was pushing really hard. I'll leave my like stats up here, but I'm like in the orange and red of most of this ride because it was a really tough one. Also, I was laughing, like that also adds to the strain of it. So yeah, all around great ride, recommend it. But it was actually live at 7:30. So I slept in that day, didn't do my normal like 5 a.m. riding, and did that instead of my 45-minute. And I'm so glad I did. There was tons of Sam Yo and Bradley Rose fans on there. We had our own hashtag. I still have the little like picture of both of them in their little Moulin Rouge top hat outfit things. And yeah, super, super fun ride. I loved doing it live with all the Sam Yo and Bradley Rose buddies. And yeah, just so fun. And going along with that, because I didn't do my Power Zone training that day, I did my 45-minute today. And it got done. This is week number 4. I'm almost through with it. I've got one 60-minute class left, and I am super tired after last week's ride. So I don't think I'm pushing nearly as hard this week, although I PR'd the other day. Other than that, I've been trying to take it a little bit step easier than that because of last week. And yeah, Power Zone training, I really, really like it, but it is taking pretty much all of what I've got, and I have not been going to mom's group, and I've been missing my mom's group. We ended up having a mom's night out recently, and I'm like, I miss you guys, because I just physically cannot do more than what I'm already doing. So I will have to reevaluate, like, as much as I love these pushes, I'm not doing hardly any resistance training, but I was already not doing much because of the migraine issues. But yeah, I need to get back into more resistance training. These Power Zone challenges are not all the time. There's a gap between them, so I'll see how I can fit these in over time. But I really feel like I'm, first of all, improving greatly, like greatly. My endurance is going through the roof. I really think I'm gonna have to retake the FTP test because I cannot stay in zone 1 comfortably. Like zone 2 is now my zone 1. When I say zone 1 for things, I'm mostly in zone 2 and sometimes zone 3, just like spinning my legs. Cannot recommend that enough. Definitely check out their website and join that. I'm just like swinging a pen around. Sorry about that. It's distracting. Really fun. Really like it. Week 4, almost done. I'm really excited to finish this one up and be like, yeah, 6 weeks of really hard training on a bike and feeling like on top of the world. And then going along with that, okay, so Peloton is every quarter. You guys know it's just a weekend event. It's a Saturday and a Sunday, and that is it. Well, they have a stride event, which is for runners, and they also now have a climb event. It's for people on the bike. So I did the climb event, and it was actually last week. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take it easy. I picked the lowest mountain elevation because you have to pick a certain elevation. I think I talked about this in last week's video, actually. I picked the lowest mountain, which was 10,000 vertical feet, and it's like equivalent all of it out. It's basically whatever pedaling you do, you're doing it very slow and very, very high resistance. And you have to get a certain output to get whatever level you're in. I did end up finishing that challenge. It was like 4.5 hours, something like that, 4 hours, 45 minutes, under 5 hours. I kept my output over 103 average. I was really happy with that. I was really proud of myself. It was the hardest thing I've done on the bike, slogging through heavy, heavy resistance, chunks of it at a time, but it was a lot. And I incorporated in my Power Zone classes at the same time. So I would be doing a 45-minute Power Zone class and keeping my output up to keep with the climb, keeping my cadence down. And it was a lot. It was hard. And I ended up finishing it, and my Power Zone graphs for those weeks, like minimum was like zone 3 or zone 4. I would spike when they told me to spike, but I never like dropped down very much. It was hard to combine the two, like do an extended amount of time and then call out zones where I have to like push it even harder for certain amounts of time. But yeah, I combined the two, got it done, super happy. I did order the medal, and that medal has not come yet. It's the one I just ordered like the end of last week. And I was really just proud that I got it done, to know that I could do it. You know, my body can do these things. I've been really not like full of myself. I don't want to like come across full of myself, but I'm like, dang, you know, my body made 2 babies. My body can push on the bike, and I can do these hard things. And when I complete these things, I'm like, dang, I'm really proud of myself for being able to do this. You know, as somebody who was a couch potato 2 years ago, who is like all in on fitness and doing these challenges, which I think are pretty tough, like pretty tough for people who are good at fitness. These are supposed to be challenges and I'm trying to keep up with them. I feel dang proud of that. And I don't want to be like, oh, I'm the best thing ever, because I still have lots of ways to improve my fitness, but I'm getting better and better and I'm seeing those changes and I'm really just so appreciative of that I can do this, first of all, but that I'm doing well at it. You know, I'm improving and getting better and getting stronger and all the things. So I really had that moment of gratitude after this climb where I'm like, dang, I'm so thankful for my body. And I haven't felt that in a while, especially with all the migraine stuff going on where I'm like, my body's revolting against me. I can't do what I want to do. And having that chronic illness in the background of all of this, it's a little bit harder for me to do it sometimes because of that. And I did have one migraine. I've had one migraine since starting my new migraine medicine, and it was not as bad. Well, I'm dealing with migraine stuff in the background. I did have the migraine day, so I did have a 2 rest day period. I just slept really bad. Something was clearly going on. I think I was like already starting to get a migraine at that point, and Olivia got sick and just got really stressed out all of a sudden. Then I just got a migraine. So I have to be careful with things like I slept really bad and then got super stressed out early in the morning, like woke up to being stressed out that day. I think I slept in that day because I slept so badly, and that's something I don't usually do. So then I was like jolted out of bed having to deal with my sick kid, and yeah, just totally got in a stressful time. It was a minor one. It was okay after a few hours of sleeping it off. That was my first one in a while, and very thankful for medicine, very thankful for modern medicine, neurologists, everything to make it so that I can function most of the time now. Just had a lot of gratitude towards my body and what it's capable of, and grateful that I'm feeling a lot better for the most part. But anyway, we're gonna talk about body image and weight and all that stuff. So if you don't want to talk about that kind of stuff, totally click off the video now and I'll see you guys in my next one. But we're going to talk weight just a tiny bit. I don't incorporate that in a lot because this fitness journey is not about weight for me. It's just part of it. Like it's the Peloton adjacent part for me. It's like I'm improving my body. I'm trying to eat better to fuel my body because I want to get stronger and because I want to live forever and be the best version of myself. I don't do any kind of workout in a punishing way. I also don't have food rules that deprive me of the things I want to eat. I bought crumble cookies this week, guys. Like we're enjoying life, we're enjoying things, but we're keeping it in check to where we're fueling our bodies too. And it's about just being the best version of myself and also enjoying life too. I don't want to be super strict about, first of all, restrictive. I don't want to count calories like long term. I just know that's something I don't want to do. So I'm really leaning in more towards intuitive eating and like basically listening to your body. Don't eat when you're not hungry. And that's like my main thing. It's like, oh, I'm bored, I want to eat. Oh, I'm happy, I want to eat. Oh, I'm depressed, I want to shove my face full of cake. Like those are the things that I'm fighting against, like my own just food issues. And that's really what it comes down to, is I'm trying to be really mindful of what I'm eating. And because I'm not tracking, because I'm not restricting, because I'm eating things I want to eat and still making mistakes, like still shoving my face full of food every once in a while and being like, oh, I probably shouldn't have eaten that much, you know? I've been plateauing. I've been maintaining. I haven't been gaining. I told you guys I'm really trying to do intuitive eating. I haven't been tracking, and I've been on a plateau, and I want to be intentional this time. And part of that is not going back up in weight, but part of it also is learning my own body, like trusting when I'm hungry and when I'm not hungry, when I'm just being bored and emotional versus actually hungry. And that part's a learning curve. So the past few weeks, it's been a while since I've tracked, so maybe even longer than that, but I've been really trying to be more intuitive about it, not snacking all the time. And I've been plateauing. I've been seeing 180 to 183 on the scale and not feeling necessarily like super down about it, but also like I've been putting in so much effort for fitness. I've been trying with the food and not just stuffing my face full of things. I wanted to see more progress than that. And I know part of it also is like gaining a tiny bit of muscle. Also, I've been exercising so much that your body and your muscles just hold on to water. So it's also that. But I finally freaking broke my plateau. That's the whole point of this, all this talk. I freaking broke my plateau. I'm at 177. It's just like in the last little bit of time, I'm starting to see it slowly creep down and like, yes, something I'm doing is actually working. I'm like, I see the progress like in real numbers on the scale, and I really should do body measurements because things are starting to fit a little bit better even before the little plateau was broken. But I was like, I've been solid 180, guys, solid 180. And my pants are fitting a little bit better and my legs are a little bit slimmer. And I know my booty is getting a little bit more of a curve to it and not a pancake to it. So I know things are changing. Like I feel in my arms, I'm getting a little bit of a bump, you know, I'm getting these benefits. I'm getting more like shoulder look. I know that things are happening. I can see them in the pictures. I can feel them in my body. I can feel them in my clothes, but that dang scale is such a dang dirty liar and it's not showing anything, you know. I probably should look at all the like the metrics that it tracks, but I don't. I just see that number and I was like, yep, I'm at 180 again this week. Oh, I went up to 181. Oh, it's my period week. I'm at 183. Like seeing these numbers not change is frustrating because you know you're working hard, you're trying to change your lifestyle and you're just seeing no improvement on this one metric that shouldn't matter, but it totally does matter. I finally freaking broke the plateau and now I'm like, okay, I know, like I'm seeing the number, I know all these things are happening in my body and now the scale reflects that as well. Finally broke through that plateau, not tracking calories and not having crazy diet rules. Like I could have been like, oh, I'm not gonna eat bread, I'm not gonna eat sugar, I'm just gonna eat twigs and berries and live off twigs and berries for the rest of my life. And then I totally could drop the weight super quick, but it's really a lifestyle thing for me. You know, I wanna do this for the rest of my life. I don't want to restrict myself and feel unhappy in the food choices because I definitely was raised in the South. Like Southern comfort food is life, you know, you feed your family well, you enjoy food, you don't restrict it, you don't eat twigs and berries, and I want to still have fun stuff while also fueling my body, and I don't want to worry about food. That's the thing. Like when I was calorie tracking, I was getting into that like feeling really unhealthy mindset, like, oh, this food is bad, this food is evil, I can't eat that very much, you know, I don't want to feel guilty when I eat things, you know, I just want to eat things. Food is food and it's fuel for your soul and it's also fuel for your mind and it's also fuel for your body, and it really depends on which food's gonna do what. And I'm not gonna cut out things and have like strict food rules around things. And I told you guys, I have a lady that I follow and I love her little skits that she does where it's like her like eating a big glob of peanut butter and her also being like the food Nazi, food rules lady, like peanut butter has so much fat in it, how could you eat that? Like doing both sides of the skit. And it's just so, it makes it so obvious how messed up we all are with food. Like we have so many weird food things. First of all, like the highly palatable food in general is a problem, you know, because it's hard to stop with just a little serving of chips. Unless I physically take the little serving of chips out of the bag and put it in a bowl, you guys know I'm gonna eat the whole freaking bag. You know, that's just how it is because they're so good and I don't have the self-control to stop at just a couple. But yeah, it's just being more mindful, and I'm very thankful that I broke that plateau and I feel like I'm heading in the right direction. Although I already knew, I was already doing good things. I was already not shoving my face full of food at every waking second. But it's good to see it reflected finally too. It's like I've been waiting for this plateau to break and I've just been staying the course, and I knew it would happen eventually, and I'm so thankful that it finally did. So I would like to still lose a little bit of weight, you know, it is part of this process too. And I'm not saying anything bad about myself, I just know I have a little bit extra fluff. I just want to be more comfortable in my body, and I want my body to be the best version of itself too. I want to see some muscles, I want to see less flab, I want to fit into my stuff without muffin tops and things like that. So I know it's not all about like the way you look, but that is a portion of it too. I'm not gonna lie, it is a part of it. So seeing that plateau break was just like, yes, I'm doing something right. The food intuitive eating is finally working. Like I knew it was working, but it's good to see it reflected and like, no, I'm going in the right direction finally. Anyway, that's all I have to say in this video. I know it was long and rambly and I had a lot to say this week, but hopefully next week I won't have quite so much to talk about because I don't know that we're gonna have a whole lot to say about the rower, but yeah, that was a big part of today's like rowing rant. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of the rower. I did have people comment on last week's video saying, oh, but it's Peloton, you know, it's the best of the best and it's worth it to them. And I'm like, that's good for you. I just cannot justify it, even though I want to. I want to just be like, yes, I can wait till December, check out, let's buy it and just do it. But I just can't do it, guys. It just hurts my heart thinking it's $3,200, and like with tax and stuff, it's gonna be like $3,500. It's way more than I paid for my bike, and I didn't want to pay more for the rower. Anyway, hope you guys liked it. Have a great day. Have a great start to your weekend or start to your week whenever you're watching this, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.